Mr. Ajay Singhania, MD and CEO of Epack Durables, and Vishal Vithal Kamat, Executive Director of Kamat Hotels, also joins in Akash Agarwal, whole-time director at V2 Retail, and CS Vigneshwar, who is the president of FADA, to talk about what's happening in the auto side. Gentlemen, you guys are at the center of this Maha Bachat Utsav and will likely see enhanced sales, enhanced consumer feedback over the course of the next 9 days, arguably over the course of this whole festive season and more. Ajay, can I start with you first? You would have, while this season starts off from today, you guys would have done some channel checks, you would have done some preparations for what's the kind of demand uptick that could come in, how would you cater to it, how would you do B2B, B2C, everything. Fill us in. What is the kind of uptick that you anticipate? How is the Josh out there?
So, first of all, happy Navratri to all. I mean, the Josh for the durable industry is extreme, and both air condition and larger TVs, which TV especially for the festive season, and AC because we have had a bad season, early rains and then disruption happening. So both for AC as well as TV, this is like the biggest news. I mean, the most joyous part is that the demand seems to be picking up. At least the channel which was carrying excess inventory is now very positive, and almost all the brands have already committed to passing on the GST benefit to the end consumer with an intention to at least liquidate the inventory and then also catch up on the upcoming season. So it's all positive tick box.
Okay, so what is the kind of volume increase? Let's come to that point, because the fact is that a lot of companies will see volume increase, but it will not necessarily be margin accretive immediately. You can't keep any of those GST gains. You have to pass it on, and that is the purpose. I want to get a view from Vishal Kamat actually on this. And this has been a big boost on the GST front to room rates below 7,500. Is there an uptick that you're expecting, and to what extent?
Namaskar. Definitely there will be an uptake, because this is the season where the second quarter for the industry is very good. On top of that, the holidays are also coming. So we will see the demand was always high. The demand has been post-corona, the industry, the way that it has bounced and then recovered and then thrived. There is definitely going to be a lot of demand during the festive season. But the thing is that we have to see in terms of the 5% rate cut, that will just make staying cheaper. It won't necessarily lead to a spurt, because there's already a demand. So considering that we have fixed inventory, and unfortunately we cannot manufacture more ACs and TVs, we cannot manufacture more rooms. And what we have, we have. So I definitely think that the yield will improve. What you said for the other sectors may be the case, but may not be for the hospitality, where you'll find the margins can definitely improve because of the higher demand, leading to higher room tariffs, leading to a better yield overall.
Okay. What is the proportion, Vishal, of rooms under 7,500 you see, and the boost that you're expecting?
So definitely the 12% bracket and the earlier 5% bracket, 12% bracket, and the 20, that all will now kind of come into the 5%. So considering that because of a cap, because of the 7499 cap, this is definitely something to be seen. It is not something we can estimate, because it's based on a demand supply. And because of that, it's about basically waiting and watching. But in terms of volume, in terms of demand, that industry is very buoyant.
I'm sure Akash Agarwal is not waiting and watching, because the feedback would have come in about what's the kind of anticipation, what's the kind of stocking that they've done at their stores. Akash, how do you anticipate the Navratras to be to kickstart this Bachat Utsav?
So yes, we've actually taken a delta of around 7-8% in our sales forecast, and we've bought our inventory according to that, and we're already seeing better numbers than we expected. But it's all theoretical. I think today is the judgment day, and in the next week we'll find out how much of it actually translates. And it's the best timing, because the next 3 months are the most crucial months for us. It's the biggest quarter for us, so the timing couldn't be better. And hopefully, the sales are as good as we has planned.
No, and guys, all three of you, I can understand that it's kind of difficult to pin it down to what the demand could be like. But that's where I'm getting in CS Vigneshwar, who's the president of FADA, because a lot of auto demand would be pre-booked, right? Clients would have booked the cars for delivery day one, day 10, somewhere in between, and for the future days as well. Mr. Vigneshwar, tell us, what is the demand situation looking like? Because we hear from on-ground reports that a lot of people naturally postpone their buying for post-Shraddh. Is it looking much better than what you would have otherwise thought?
First of all, thanks for having us over. At FADA, we're quite happy about the GST reforms because for long, at least in the entry-level segments of the two-wheelers and the four-wheelers, we've been having a lot of headwinds. And with this GST reform, I think there's going to be a sizable cut in terms of prices for the customer. And yes, there have been a lot of postponements, and we're going to see all those postponements and the deliveries come from today onwards. What is also happy to note is in the last 25 for up to 30 days, we've been having excellent inquiries and fantastic bookings. So I really wouldn't be able to put a number on it, but at least in my case, there has been about nearly a 20% hike in inquiries and about 10% hike in terms of bookings as such. So as mentioned before, this particular GST rate cut would not only help us in the festive season this month or probably this quarter, it's really going to help us in the next many years to come. These rate cuts have been long awaited. We've been requesting for this, and I'm very thankful. The industry is very thankful to the government for making it happen.
What is the kind of deliveries you're expecting, Mr. Vigneshwar, today? Because there was some pre-booking and some players had already announced that, just come and book your vehicle. You can take delivery at start of Navratra. No one wants to do that during the Shraddh period. Is that something that dealerships are preparing for?
Yes, we are already prepared to avoid the chaos because there's going to be a bulk of deliveries happening today.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we also understand that we need to spread out our resources. We can't hire them for a very small period. But we have seen these festive seasons come every year. So we've been prepared for it every year. It's probably going to be a little bit enhanced because of the concentrated deliveries in the last week, which we have been preparing for. We've also informed our customers. We've also prepped them for whether it's from the insurance, from the finance angle. And I don't think it should be too much of an issue. We are well placed to handle it.
Okay. I just want to get a sense from you, Mr. Singhania, in terms of let's talk about RACs, the AC segment. Let's talk about some of the consumer durable segment. What is the kind of demand pickup that you are hearing about? Because there has been some postponement of purchases. Logically, that postponement of purchases will get, consumed in the first few weeks or the first month or so. But is this going to lead to a more relevant increase in demand which sustains? You're on mute, Mr. Singhania.
Yeah. So again, from the consumer durable industry side, this has been a sustained demand over the last couple of years. We've been requesting the government, and now this move, one puts air condition away from being a luxury category to a necessity. So that recognizes the fact that AC today is a luxury. And with India at the lowest penetration level in terms of households having air condition, this not is just a welcome move, but this also creates the path for a long-term sustainable growth. So at 10% penetration today, we have been talking about air conditions increasing year on year, but then definitely India being a cost-sensitive thing with 28% GST, that was a roadblock. And now with that removed, we definitely see one growth in the overall volumes, and also then the certain energy efficient air conditioners like 5 stars and all the inverter ACs will see more growth. So definitely, I mean, this is going to be a sustainable growth for the long term.
Okay. No, so Mr. Singhania, coming back to that, what about the premiumization of customers? Do you think with GST rate cuts coming in, you're going to see customers moving upwards in what they want to buy? Perhaps
Definitely.
If someone was buying, a basic model, will want to buy a more expensive model. Is that kind of demand being penciled in?
Definitely, yes. So this is what I was saying. A 5 star or the inverter ACs will definitely grow more. So the customers who were earlier preferring the entry level 3 stars would now graduate to a 5 star, and those who are probably not just thinking about it will definitely buy the entry level. So overall, the pie is going to get bigger, and the premiumization also would happen definitely, both for air conditions as well as TVs, wherein 42-inch and higher had more GST than the 32-inch. So definitely on that side also we'll see the premiumization happening.
Okay, that premiumization point to Akash Agarwal as well, because your model is very clear and focused on what segment you're talking to and what price band that you're catering to. Does premiumization have any impact for you? What is the kind of consumer trend that you're expecting to see, Akash?
So, like the gentleman just said, hopefully what they save on the ACs, what they save on the hotels, and what they save on the automobiles, they spend more and buy more fashionable clothes because already 93% of what we sell is at the lowest tax bracket. So we don't have a direct benefit in terms of price cuts, but definitely if our customers have more money left in their pocket, so they will buy more, the frequency of purchase will increase, and that should translate into better numbers.
Fair call. There is a Vishal. I'm sure both the gentlemen are not trying to say that don't spell on Kamat hotels. What they are saying is that they will save on the room rates, and therefore maybe those things get spent on ACs and on goods. The question, Vishal, is that independent of GST 2.0, the Indian consumers' behavior towards experiences has also changed dramatically post-COVID. Does this festive season look like enhancing that for you in particular because of the GST benefit that gets added on to some of your room inventory, if not all?
See, the economy has already been doing well. I was watching that how that fairly disinterested shopkeeper, the way he said, but what did he say? He said, "Dhanda to acha hai." That has been a fact for most of the industry as a whole, that the overall economy is doing well. Hospitality apart, all my colleagues also online have been doing well. It's just that this will basically have a long-term effect on the overall economy in terms of saving and spending, both. Because just as rightly said by my co-panelists, that if there is going to be more disposable income, people will use that disposable income on something. Now what that need is, that might be better medical health care, that might be better a luxury lifestyle, that can be better necessities. So important is that India moves into a much higher gear of consumer consumption, and in a premium way. Definitely I feel it will be, because now the need for a person to have something better, it can be fulfilled because of the huge drop. A 10% from 18 to 5%, let's appreciate, is a huge percentage drop. So if a person had a mental frame that this is what I was going to spend, then I will spend this similar kind of amount or same amount, then I'll let me get something better. So I think overall in the long term, rather than look at it in a very myopic 8-day festive, we should see that India is going to be festive for the next few years to come. And along with that, the industry will still give a lot of representation to enhance this further. I mean, the fact that this 7499 slab that our industry has is quite absurd. But just as the government has taken step by step to remove it, it's only a matter of time. I can see that our industry prevails in terms of having these things also more streamlined, which will further improve the overall demand and overall consumption. So I think that we should look at this in the longevity side, and that's really buoyant overall for all industry and the economy as a whole. And the real winner is both consumer and industry, and of course the government, because it still earn money.
You know, that disinterested shopkeeper you were talking about, poor guy was waiting for the shutters to open and setting up his stalls when our reporter caught him and he said, "Hone to do." But I think it's safe to say that this is going to be the change. You know, CS Vigneshwar, I'm going to ask you this question before we wrap up this conversation. Do you think the kind of dull period for autos, especially small cars, can change after this big move? Because truly the price differential is quite large for the last mile consumer.
If I can pick up the word of premiumization, it's been happening across the world. And this GST is going to turbocharge that. People are going to go for higher variants of the same model. They're going to probably perhaps go to a different segment, a higher segment by itself. So this is quite important because at the end of the day, a premium model probably gives you better features, better safety, and a lot of things get better. So it's very important from also the fact that the industry also gains, because a lot more components go into those premium models. And on a lighter vein, all of us are competing for the pocket of the customer, the retail industry. Here we have two people from representing, I think, the electronic side and also the clothing side, and also from hospitality. I can tell you that if you buy a car, you get all three. You get great interiors, you get awesome air conditioning, and you also have a great time to spend your time in. So I wish to compete and tell the customer, come and pick up a car, and you get all three.
I don't know how it will compete with what Vishal Kamat is offering or with what V2 Retail is offering. But yeah, maybe
Luckily, our
the air
economy is still
conditioner.
not somewhere here to live in the car. So I think till then we'll all enjoy our AC at home, clothes while wearing it for party, hospitality to relax and unwind, and
Yeah.
go to a hotel, good hotel with the car
With
which
the car.
sir is
Okay,
suggesting.
that's the aspirational India and the neo middle class that we're talking to today. Thank you to all of you for joining us in this very interesting conversation. You know, there are, I think, a push and pull in the markets today. That's why you're seeing markets down. But on the other hand, a bit of a boost coming up or mitigating factor coming up because of the expenditure that is expected. Look at the recovery in the Nifty.